Well, let's talk about what's going on in the world of Foodie Beauty, shall we? She started in her stream yesterday complaining about the cat BG. You know, this is the cat that she just loves and adores, and boy oh boy, the complaining she was doing about BG. It turns out BG is waking her up at least twice a night at 3 o'clock and 7 o'clock. Oh, the horrors of being woke up at 7 in the morning, right? Anyways, she claims BG is just so active during the night, and Chantal has to sleep with her legs curled up, and she wants to stretch out more in the bed, but if she even moves a little bit, BG is biting at her feet, and she claims that BG is coming in there and jumping on her head, and then she jumps onto the CPAP machine. So the CPAP machine turns off. So Foodie complains about this and says, and then, she has to wait 5 minutes for the CPAP to get back to the pressure at which she needs it at before she can go back to sleep. And she even says, BG just can't understand that she needs at least a solid 8 hours of sleep. Now, how would the cat know that you need sleep? I mean, this cat is still a kitten. She claims BG doesn't turn 1 until July. So, of course, she's going to be full of energy. The problem is Chantal is not showing this cat enough attention. She's not engaging enough with this cat. I mean, she picks up fish. Chantal's always talking about, where's her fish? And the way she screams so shrilly at her, BG! Oh, it's disgusting. But so now she's thinking she may have to close her door at night to her room. But she's sure that BG is going to knock at it, but she doesn't know. She's just going to have to put some toys out there or something for her because she needs her solid 8 hours of sleep. She has so much to do during the day, that her sleep is so very important because she is such a very busy person. Then she talks about her lease is going to be coming to an end here within the next couple months. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe did she say October or November? And she's thinking about maybe moving back towards her hometown because then she'll be closer to her mom, her aunt, her sister, and Pete's. So she says she likes her apartment where she is now, but, like I said, she wants to be closer to her family. But the thing with Cornwall, her hometown, is a lot of it's ghetto. And then, she backtracks and says she knows that crime and things are a lot worse in a lot of other places, but, it's just it's ghetto there. We still didn't get a clear explanation what she meant by ghetto. And she did make it very known she does not want to live amongst all white people, she said. Because she doesn't want to live, like in the suburbs where it's all snooty white people. And that's one of the things she really likes about living in Ottawa is it's very multicultural. I don't even know what to say. I'm kind of at a loss for words there. So then, of course, we have to go outside, and she has to take her medication outside. She keeps claiming that her smoking, is for medicinal purposes only. Another example of her kind of bending her religion. No, she's not supposed to be doing this, but because I guess she's a doctor and diagnosed herself and said that she needs this as medication, I don't know. And while she's out there, I don't know what she is doing, but she kind of drops the phone, and we see the underside of her belly and all between her legs. And this is what Salah constantly complains about with her and her modesty. And then, she says, did you see my fupa? Did you see my foop? Are you looking at my foop? This 42-year-old woman thinks that it's funny, and she's obsessed with talking about her quote-unquote fupa. Why? It's almost like she's purposely trying to show it off. I mean, it's very hard to miss because it's incredibly huge and let's move on. So then, when we get back in the house, the other day, if you remember, she had bought some markers, some Sharpies at the Dollarama. And she decided to sketch a picture of Rosie. And we all know the story about Rosie being in the trailer for the Paradise documentary that's coming out on Tuesday the 9th. And how Rosie says, "They don't tell you the price you pay." Okay. I swear, Foodie is so incredibly jealous that Rosie is in this documentary. Foodie is constantly, now I'm not even exaggerating this, at least 3 times out of every stream, she will find a reason to say, "They don't tell you the price you pay." And she will be very exaggerated over it. She is letting this thing live rent-free in her head. Now, okay, maybe the first couple times it would have been funny. Because it was kind of humorous, the way Rosie kind of threw her head back and, the whole looks of it. But we don't know the context. We don't know any of that. But maybe the first few times. But this has been every day since the trailer came out. So we're looking at least a week. Every day, 3, 4 times a day. Chantal has to bring this up. It leads you to believe that she's so jealous. Why didn't she get a part? Why didn't she? And really, I kind of wonder why they didn't even maybe ask her, because it's quite clear when we seen Chantal eating that A&W smash burger the other day. Chantal is catering to the feeder fetish community, because to keep going, while you're eating a burger, yeah. Then we go, after she shows us a picture of Rosie, we go through all that. She brings, I don't know who she was speaking on. I might have to do a little looking into this. She is going on and complaining about there's some man on TikTok. And she says that this man was homeless. And he would go on there, as she said, e-begging every single day for like $80-something to get him a hotel room every day. And she goes on to say about how people were providing him with this. And then he got an apartment, and I guess he lost that apartment, according to Chantal. And then he went back to asking for the money every day for the hotel room, and he was getting it, and now he's in a place again. And she said now he came alive the other day, and he was asking for money to get, I don't know, a pair of shorts to match his blue running shoes or something. But anyways, Chantal is going on and on and on about how horrible this is, people e-begging, and how can they just let people pay, like, for their rent when they're not doing anything. And her chat there's people in the chat that say, "How is this different from you?" And she just goes, she's starting to get angry. She's on a monetized platform. She's not asking for money. And this man needs to take care of himself and step up and da. But see how quickly she forgets. She forgets when she wanted to leave Syria and come back to Canada. She forgets that she was asking for, what was it, $10,000 or something? Now, how was that any different than what this man... And it seems the way she was going on and on and on and on about it, it gave the air of she was jealous that this man gets... that he can get on TikTok and he's getting money every day. I don't know who the man is. I don't know the whole story. Any of that. But she just was acting completely disgusted about this person, as she said, begging every day and contributing nothing to society. And I don't know. It, like I said, it gave an air of she was jealous. Why are people giving him all this money and not to her? And she may not be asking for any, but she is dry bags a lot. She drops hints a lot. Just like in this live, she had to make the statement that Scooty, her scooter, her mobility scooter, is on the last leg. And, she really doesn't know what she's going to do. So what really is the difference between what this person's doing and what she's doing? In my opinion, she's on here begging constantly too. And I mean, at least he's not exploiting young children with Down syndrome to get money. Maybe she should think about that.